Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of the Dustless SMP, where today we stand in front of a giant dug area. So this is the nether side of our husk farms. So you can see here, this is basically our kill chamber, and we can go see the overworld side now. So that's basically where we kill the husks and all the drops get stored. And over here on the overworld side, there's the AFK platform, and there's the husk farm. So down here, this is just a portal caching grid so that the server doesn't lag. And over here, we did portal suppression. So this is basically just slicing portals so that mobs can just fall directly onto it, and it's just more efficient. So you just have a shifting floor above that, and you have basically one of the fastest husk farms. So we finished the perimeter, obviously. There's still a lot of terrain here, but we plan to use this area for a storage soon. So we're gonna make a deco for this whole perimeter, and then we're just gonna have a ledge up here that's gonna be for storage. So now let's talk about why we actually need the perimeter on the nether side. So over here, obviously we dug this whole area, but this is actually a requirement, because when husks get killed, because they're a type of zombie, they can call for reinforcement zombies, which get quite laggy, plus they feel like mob cap, and if there's a bunch of them, right, server will start to lag, that sort of stuff. So basically before it just wasn't a very runnable farm. We needed to fix that. So that's basically what we did, taking this all out so that there's no spawning spaces. Actually, there, now there's no spawns. But yeah, this is our husk farm. So now that this project is actually functional, I'm probably gonna build the second husk farm later. But to be honest, this is already enough sand. This gives you like 5 to 6 stacks in like a minute or two. So it's good enough for us at least. We're gonna build the second one later, obviously. But yeah, other than that, we can start to move on to the next project. Okay, so now this is going to be our next project. So I'm at the location of a triple witch hut, and you can kind of already see what we're doing here. So recently I showed a video of a diagonal world eater on my channel, and now we're building it here. That's basically it. This is the trencher. We're making trenches with these. We're gonna hand dig the side ones because they're not even worth duping. Yeah, just get these trenches down to by 5, and then we can start building the world eater, run that, and then hopefully in the end we should have a full perimeter. So this is gonna be a very long-term project. This takes a lot of time and effort. Just this is probably about a week's effort. And yeah, this was already very painful to do. It's only run down to Y35, I think. Roughly there. Yeah, 35. But yeah, we're gonna start working on this, or really just me. But yeah, other than that, hopefully this should all go well. And we're just gonna do this as kind of a side task. So now I guess we can move on to the next project. Okay, so another project. This is now our quad witch hut. So as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 witch huts. And the current dug area is just a despawn sphere, so you can see that it all fits within. So you made this outline, it's, I believe, a septagon? I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation for it is, but whatever. Basically a 7-sided polygon. That's all it is. Taking this out, and then once that's all done, we're gonna get Marklin to do the decoration for the perimeter, and then once the decoration's done, we're gonna get Ches to do the quad looting setup. So the quad looting is basically something that we do with all the witch farms. So you take all the witch farms and you drop them all into a single line. And then from those lines, you would have them kind of connect like this, and then go to the middle, or they would be manually killed by a player. So you would use 20 or 30 meters a second conveyors to go right to the middle. That way everything could just be killed by a player to get the looting effect. Plus, if you also damage them in fire, you can also get fire protection potions, which is kind of nice. Or maybe health potions, I'm not sure. But yeah, right now we're just doing water clearing mainly because that's the main issue with the perimeter now. Then after that, we're just going to dig everything down. Should only take us, I don't know, 3-4 days, if I had to guess. But yeah, other than that, this project is actually coming well underway now. Also here you can see the dig storage. So this is basically just a small storage that I built up just to get a couple of items from it. Yeah, you can already see that some of the items. This one's a stone filter, but I don't understand why there's still no stone boxes. It's weird. Whatever. But yeah. So, oh yeah, by the way, these are just mine shafts. These don't really matter. It's these ones. One thing that, yeah. So this is the issue. We didn't load this area when we had the bounding box fix on. So, carpet, bounding box fix. Which is basically, well now it's on, but we didn't load this area with it on, which means that we still have the bounding box issue in 1.12, which is basically something with these heights get messed up. So basically, you don't have a full layer. Oh god, yeah, FreeCam kind of messes with the bounding boxes. You can move them, but yeah, it kind of messes with these bounding boxes. Basically, these yellow lines, they shouldn't be here. And it's a weird messed up bounding box, but we're gonna need Penta to somehow change this back to its default value. Rather he deletes the chunk or whatever, honestly it's up to him, but yeah, we basically just need to set that back to a regular witch hut, which would look like this, or one of these three. So right now this is basically just a triple and like a half witch hut, which is yeah, kind of sad, because we really need redstone right now. Because one of the things that we're going to do after this is building our 420 cannon, which is going to be a multi-destinational ender pearl cannon, so that we can shoot an ender pearl to some of these locations, and it's just going to be faster transport. But yeah, other than that, there's really nothing else to see here, so let's just move on to the next thing. Okay, so the next project that we're going to do is our main storage floor. So currently we have just concrete as our floor, but we want to do cyan. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to use the dupers, or the flying sand dupers with instant tile tick, which is going to leave white concrete because it metadata converts into white no matter what. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use a few machines like this, which are basically a movable metadata converter. So here, where do I start this? I forget. Here. You can see, pull up the sand, and then metadata convert it. So we could go tick rate 1. You can kind of see how we create the 0 tick here. Push these in first, push down observers, and then 0 tick. And that when it's when the block is scheduling to fall, that can reset the second sand's color basically. I'm not too familiar with this. I just basically know how to do it, and that's it. So I made this into a flying machine, and yeah, that's basically it. So now we need to work on duping the concrete. So we did a little bit on that on SMP, which I'm going to show now. Okay, so now we're here in main storage on the SMP. And you can see that we've already done a little bit of work here. So we used a shortened three-way, which is basically just one of these systems, but with a small basket to catch TNT, so that whenever it falls, it doesn't go too far down. That's basically what we did to remove it under main storage, and then we're building these faster machines to do the sides of main storage. So these are double speed ones. But yeah, other than that, that's basically all that there is with this project. So we're just gonna come down here, hand mine a few of these blocks because it leaves a few. As long as we don't keep the concrete. Actually, wait, no, we can't keep the concrete. I just realized that because it's not sand. We're allowed to keep that. But yeah, so basically we don't allow sand duping on the server, but we allow concrete duping. Somebody's there. Either way, yeah. So we're just gonna dupe all this, hand mine, fill in the concrete powder again, and then we can start doing metadata conversion on the actual SMP, which is gonna be very interesting. I've never really done anything like that, but hopefully it doesn't go too badly. And yeah, I'll come back to do the sand dupers. Okay, so it's been about a week, I'd say, from the previous clip. So we decided that the one-ways weren't fast enough. Well, they were fast enough. It's just we didn't want to build that many. It's too much for us, even with it being 5 wide. So what we decided to do instead was to do these machines. Now these, well, they are just basically just a combination of 3 machines that metadata convert. Unlike the first one, if I can actually get off the ground. Oh my god. These ones actually have side stations. So I spent a very, very long time figuring out how to make a 3-directional metadata converter, which is probably never going to get used by anybody other than us. So that's just great. But yeah, other than that, this is basically just the machines that we're using in order to subchunk fill, or metadata convert the subchunk filling, I should say. You do need these 2 lines in the first place, but other than that, everything else is automatic. You can go back and see the other side as well. So that's the side that pushes it forward. And over here, we can see, yeah, so the second side of the machine. So unlike the first side, this one just sends it back, just updates the observers, and that's it. Yeah, so because these would take, I think it's 8 days for one machine to cover the whole perimeter, we did 2. So there's this one back here which is done, I think, almost 4 chunks worth of distance. Close over here. Yes, you're only 3 blocks away. And yeah, that's basically the progress on these machines right now. I might make a time lapse of this, I'm not sure. If so, it's probably going to be at the very end of this video. But yeah, so we're just going to leave this on for a bit. Also, we finished the subchunk filling, so I can actually show how we do that. We do it with these machines here. And we also need to use ITT with these machines. These are ITT only. So by ITT, in case you don't know, I mean instant tile tick, which is basically a machine that makes pistons and stuff do weird things. Observers don't work correctly and that sort of stuff. But basically, this contraption here would allow you to do subchunk filling. It would just generate concrete powder. So, in case you didn't already know, the reason that we didn't just do those converters with cyan concrete is another issue with ITT. So with ITT, if I were to drop a sand block, it would metadata convert into white concrete, which is exactly this. But yeah, so basically, red sand would convert into regular sand, white, or any concrete colors would convert into the white concrete powder. And that's, yeah, kind of how ITT works. It's only if it's falling, so it's like we don't have to worry about like concrete here or stuff. But yeah. So yeah, we can also start to look at some of the new stuff that we're also doing around main storage. So notice that we added this button here, which is actually a trapdoor. So we're going to be adding a second layer of main storage down here, was just for stuff like auto crafters and those sorts of things. Furnace arrays, brewers. Yeah, you can see it closing. And yeah, so that's basically that idea. We're going to put in a downstairs room there with an auto crafter. And yeah, so there's a few things that we want to also include, which is this issue, because we have a lot of shulker boxes coming into the main storage system, because they don't automatically get stacked, which is something that I think I'm going to start working on now, because I want these things to get stacked as opposed to just having stray shulkers. It's not as clean in my opinion. Oh my god, this elytra. But yeah, I probably will make a video on this thing, but there's one issue with it, which you can see right here. It is not snow or lightning proof. If you ever build this, you need to make sure that you are doing it in either, well, we're doing it here in a desert, I believe, or maybe a savanna. Yeah, savanna here, but like the main area is a desert. But yeah, just if you ever do build it, just be cautious and make sure that you know that, like, at least as long as it's not snowing really. Snow is really the main issue with these. Lightning, I mean, it is a problem, but it's so unlikely that honestly you should just be just fine to use it. I guess I could also explain how the metadata conversion actually works. So what we do, or actually wait, I think this machine is it returning? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna wait for this this machine to return. Or actually, I think that we can go to this machine. It's closer. Yep, there it is. Slightly closer, and yeah, we can watch the launching process and also show how the metadata conversion works. Okay, so it's almost returning. And yeah, so the top there is the activation, where that redstone block bounces, and then you can see that we start by pulling this section forward, this one, sticking this one back in. Did it break? No, I think I'm just lagging. Gotta reconnect. Yep, there. Okay, so now these are launched with very specific timings. These are game tick accurate. Yeah, it's a ghost block generator. That's the sole purpose of this, ghost blocks. Perfect. But yeah, basically, the idea is that you pull up the block, push it to the side here, then you push in this concrete, and then right when it's about to start falling, in that same tick that it starts to fall, you zero tick in the first concrete, or the concrete that you picked up, which basically it duplicates the properties of this concrete onto the white concrete. So it takes its color, and also one thing that's kind of interesting that I noticed, it also takes its fall speed. So normally when sand falls, right, it has, actually, do I have sand on me? No, I don't. It has some game ticks until it starts falling. That's what we use to actually pull up the concrete first. But yeah, whenever it gets metadata converted, it just immediately starts falling because it's picking up that trait of the previous concrete that was in its place. See, I just found that kind of funny, and this is just the view. If you want to slow it down or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, so we're gonna leave these on for like the next, I don't know, 4 days, I think. Probably 5, because this one's it has a little bit more room to run across. Other than that, though, that's probably gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you soon.